Hello students, welcome to Mr. TK classes. Today we are doing the Creditors Reconciliation Statement, and this is our question. Lion Traders buys goods on credit from Rabbit suppliers. The business received a statement of account for December 2020 from the creditor. Information: Creditors ledger of Lion Traders, statement on 31 December 2020. Additional information required. Calculate the correct balance of Rabbit suppliers in the creditors ledger account of Lion Traders. Show the changes to the figure 92,989. Prepare the creditors reconciliation statement for Rabbit suppliers on 31 December 2020. Right, so we go back to our information. Alright, so the entries that we have under the debit column in the creditors ledger should appear under the credit column on the statement. Then the entries that appear on the credit side in the creditors ledger should appear on the debit side on the statement. Alright, so we are going to prepare our answer here. Let us start with number 1. Number 1, we are required to show the changes to the figure 92,989. 92,989. 92,989. Okay, so this is the amount that is here. This is the amount that is here. All right, so whenever we have a creditors ledger and whenever we have the supplier's statement, this balance and this balance should be the same, right? But as we are seeing, these two balances are different. That's why we are performing the creditors reconciliation. Let us move to adjustment A. Invoice 304 was reflected erroneously in the account of Rabbit suppliers in the creditors ledger of Lion Traders. It refers to a merchandise purchased from another supplier, Kudu suppliers. So this invoice was reflected erroneously under Rabbit suppliers, right? Because this merchandise was purchased from Kudu suppliers. So invoice 304 was not supposed to appear here because this merchandise was purchased from Kudu suppliers, not Rabbit suppliers. All right, so for us to remove that invoice, remember in the creditors ledger, all invoices are recorded in the creditors ledger. All invoices are recorded on the credit side. So now if we want to remove something that is recorded on the credit side, we should record on the debit side. We should record on the debit side. All right, so now let us come here. This is the entry that was there already. I just want to explain why we record on the debit side to remove this. So this is the entry that was already there, which is plus 17,680. So this is the entry that we have made to reverse this, and this is minus 17,608. Minus 17,608. This will give us 0. So we would have eliminated this invoice. So let us come here. Let us go up there. Let us go up there and record this. This is negative 17,608. Negative 17,608. Okay, then let us move to B. Let us move to B. Rabbit suppliers made an error in recording invoice 309 on the statement. Okay, so this is an error on the statement. All the errors and omissions on the statement, they should be addressed under the creditors reconciliation. All the errors and omissions in the creditors ledger, they should be addressed here where we are adjusting the creditors ledger balance. So this this transaction, which is B, will be addressed when we are doing number 2. The discount of 325 received from Rabbit Suppliers on 12 December 2020 was omitted in the books of Lion Traders. All right, so this was omitted in the books of Lion Traders. All right, this discount of 325. Okay, that's why we can't see it here, and we are seeing it here. It was omitted here, right? So this discount is supposed to be recorded under the debit column. So if it is supposed to be recorded under the debit column, it means it is supposed to be a negative. So we are going to have minus 325. We are going to have minus 325. We are going to have minus 325. Then let us move to D. Let us move to D. Goods returned on 13 December 2020 were recorded correctly on the statement from Rabbit Suppliers. The entry in the books of Lion Traders is incorrect. So this return, right? This return. Okay, I just wanna check something. All right, so this we're supposed to strike through this one. Sorry, we're supposed to strike through this one. There was a mistake there. All right, then we were now doing this one. Goods returned on 13 December 2020 were recorded correctly on the statement from Rabbit Suppliers. The entry in the books of Lion Traders is incorrect. 13 December 2020, right? Which is this one, is recorded correctly here, and here it is wrong, right? Okay, so when it comes to sides, the entries are okay, right? Because debit here and credit here, right? This is a return. It should decrease the outstanding amount. This is a return. It should decrease the outstanding amount. A return should decrease the outstanding amount. All right. But if we look at the amounts, they are different. And this one is correct. That's what the adjustment is saying. This one is wrong. Okay. So let us come to our working papers. Let us come to our working papers. We want to make that amount a correct amount. So we can see that this amount, this return was understated. It was understated by what? It was understated by what? We are going to say 6,340 subtract 3,640 by 2,700, by 2,700. So we should record 2,700 under the debit column, right? Which means it is going to be a negative 2,700, negative 2,000, negative 2,700, negative 2,700. Even if you add this one and this one, is supposed to give you this correct amount. All right, so let us move to the next adjustment. Let us move to the next adjustment. The transaction on 16 December 2020 is in respect of a merchandise returned to Rabbit Suppliers. All right, 16 December, this entry and this entry is in respect to returns. And we know that returns should decrease the amount due, right? Returns should decrease the amount due. All right, we can see that the amount we have we have 4,680. We also have 4,680 here, but this amount, right, it is appearing on the credit side here and also on the credit side here. So now we need to know. We need to know which side was it supposed to appear here under our creditors ledger and which side was it supposed to appear here. All right, so this is a return. We know that a return should decrease the outstanding amount, So it means that on the statement, this is correct. This is correct. Then when it comes to this one, a return should decrease the outstanding amount, but it is rather increasing it. So that's wrong. Let us come here and say this is the amount that we want to correct, 4,608. We need to correct this amount, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to make a debit entry to reverse this, right? We are going to make a debit entry to reverse that one. All right, let me explain. This is the entry that was there already, 4,680. So a debit entry is a negative. We are going to have 4,680. So it means you are going to have a 0. We would have reversed this one. We would have reversed this one. So now we need to record the return. We have reversed this wrong entry, right? So now we need to record the return. We are going to record our return here. So we first reverse the wrong entry, then we record. So we are going to have minus 4,680 minus 4,680. So we are going to come here and say minus 4,680 minus 4,680. Okay. All right. So let us come here. We have addressed this one. And okay. So this is E. We move on to F. Receipt 32 was shown erroneously on the statement from Rabbit suppliers. This transaction does not relate to Lion Traders and will be rectified in the next statement. Okay, it was shown erroneously on the statement, which means we are going to address it under reconciliation. Okay, let us move on. Rabbit Suppliers also purchases goods on credit from Lion Traders. Refer to Journal of Voucher 730. Lion Traders has transferred the debit balance from the debtors ledger. This entry has not been recorded by Rabbit Suppliers. Okay, Rabbit Suppliers hasn't recorded this, so it is not on the statement. So it should come to our creditors reconciliation. All right. Then the statement shows transactions up to 24 December 2020. Okay, shows transactions up to 24 December 2020, which means these other entries are not on the statement. So this should be addressed on the creditors reconciliation. Okay, because all the errors and omissions on the statement should be addressed under creditors reconciliation. All right, then let us come here and say balance as per suppliers, balance as per suppliers statement, balance as per suppliers statement. So we are going to calculate our total here once we are done with everything. All right, so balance as per supplier statement, this is our balance, 115,803. 115,803. Then let us go to our adjustments. Rabbit Suppliers made an error in recording invoice 309 on the statement. Okay, Rabbit Suppliers made an error in recording this. Let us see. Let us see here. Invoice 309. We can see that the amounts recorded are different, and Rabbit Suppliers made an error, which means Rabbit Suppliers should have recorded 24,869, but they recorded 42,869, which means that the amount is overstated, right? Let us come to our working papers. The amount is overstated. This invoice is overstated. So it is overstated by what? It is overstated by what? We are going to say for 2,869, subtract 24,869. So it is overstated by 18,000. So we need to reverse 18,000. We need to reverse 18,000, because if we say plus for 2,869 subtract 18,000, we'll get the correct amount, which is 24,869. So that entry of reversing the overstatement is this one. It is a negative of 18,000. So we have to come here and say 18,000 in brackets to show that it is a negative. Yeah, it is a negative here. So we should show it in brackets. So we are going to say credit amount overstated. Credit amount overstated, right? Because we have credited the amount overstated here. That's why we are saying credit amount overstated. All right, so now let us move on to F. Let us move on to F. Let us move on to F. Receipt 32 was shown erroneously on the statement from Rabbit suppliers. This transaction does not relate to Lion traders and will be rectified in the next statement. So, receipt 32 does not relate to Lion traders. Since it does not relate to Lion traders, it was not supposed to be here. So we should remove it. So to remove any entry that was made on the credit side, we should make a debit entry. So by making a debit entry, it means it is going to be a positive. So we are going to have plus, all right, we are going to have plus 27,170. To show that it's a positive, we are not going to reflect it in brackets. So this, remember we said we are going to make a debit entry, right? So we are going to say debit amount wrongly credited, right? Debit amount wrongly credited. Then let us move on to, okay, let us move on to this one. Let me just strike through this one. All right, let us move on to G. Rabbit suppliers also purchases goods on credit from Lion traders. Refer to Journal of Voucher 730. Lion traders has transferred the debt balance from the debtors ledger. This entry has not been recorded by Rabbit suppliers. So, okay, Rabbit suppliers has not recorded this Journal of Voucher 730, and you can see it is under the debt. It is under debit. It is under our debit column here, which means that it should be under the credit column here. So if we are crediting, it is supposed to be a negative. So we are going to have a negative of 1,820. Negative 1,820. Transfer of balance. Transfer of balance. Okay, transfer of balance. All right, then let us come here. All right, then we are going to H, right? We are going to H. So the statement shows transactions up to 24 December 2020. The statement shows transactions up to 24 December 2020. All right, we can say that up to 24 December 2020. All right, so it means there are some other entries, these ones, right? There are some other entries, these ones. These transactions, they happened after the 24th, so they are not on the statement. So we should reflect them on the creditors reconciliation. So we are going to say this is a payment, right? So a payment reduces the outstanding amount. That's why it is on the debit column here, and it should be under the credit column here. So we are going to say credit payment after statement date, credit payment after statement date, right? After statement date. Okay, when you are crediting, we are reducing, right? So it should be a negative of 58,760. Then let us do this. Then we also have a discount here. Discount after the statement date. Okay, discount after the statement date. Okay, the discount is 845. The discount is 845. So it should be under the credit column. It should decrease the amount due. All right, so 845. Since you are done with all the adjustments, and we still have some other transactions here, we should also look at them. All right, this one on the 8th, I can see it is also here, and these entries are correct. Okay, credit here, then debit here. Right, so these entries are correct. These entries are correct. Then let us look at another one. All right, on the 12th, 15,795. Okay, we can also see it here. So debit here, credit here. So these entries are okay. These entries are okay. Right? So now we are moving on to this one. 36,400, 36,400. So credit here, debit here. Okay, this is fine. Okay, this is fine. Then now we are left with the one, which is this one. And it is an interest. It is increasing the amount due. So this interest was charged by our supplier. We were charged by our supplier interest, and I think this is interest on overdue account, because it is increasing what we owe with them, right? It is increasing the outstanding amount. It is increasing the outstanding amount, which means we were being charged, right? We're being charged. So now that we see it on the statement, we should also update the creditors ledger, okay, by increasing the amount due. By increasing the amount due, it should be under the credit column. So what is the amount again? 624. 624. All right. Okay, let us do our calculations. Let us do our calculations. We are going to say 92,989 subtract 17,680 subtract 325 subtract 2,700 subtract 4,680 subtract 4,680 add 624. What do we get? 63,548. All right, let us also come here. 115,803 subtract 18,000 add 27,170 subtract 1,820 subtract 58,760 subtract 845. We are going to get 63,548 Is it the balance that we have here? Yes. Now you see that we have 63,548 as our creditors ledger balance, and we also have it here, right? Which means that we have performed our creditors reconciliation. Thank you.